department of chemistry.
You had, I think, your
Yes,
project,
to my
yes. And Abhirami, yes.
Department of Law. Madhuram from Department of Mathematics.
Vedisha from Department of Music.
Department of
Music.
Music. Vedisha and music, very nice.
Janani from Department of Maths. Vidya from
Hospital administration, very good.
Janani Sevkaperma from Mathematics.
Followed?
I forgot to tell my
Oh, yeah, please.
She also studied computer
Not
application.
application, it is computer technology. So very nice to meet you all, and vanakkam to everybody else as well, and we hope to see many of you in our further courses, and hope today's topic will kind of create that curiosity and interest. Fundamentally what we are doing is to understand about the Indian civilization. So what are the aspects of the Indian civilization? And one is the character of the civilization. The other is therefore what have been its achievements. And achievements in both matter and mind. So achievements in both matter and mind. So that's how we are, we have been, actually we have been collating about Indian civilization. I was in IT and he was in marketing, and we were professionals for 20 years, which many of you are also going to be after you all finish your college degree. And we used to travel a lot, and wherever we went, we found travel world over also, and we found people were talking about their respective civilizations. They knew so much about their civilization, but typically most of those recorded history is just a few hundred years old. But they knew that well, and they would talk about it with pride, they would display about it with pride. So we said, okay, in Indian civilization there is so many thousands of years of very good recorded history. Actually, it is recorded history, recorded knowledge, so and orally transmitted ethos as well as knowledge, spiritual, subtle knowledge, I would say. So with all this, how many of us really know about it? How many of us are able to talk about it? How many of us are able to take pride in it? Unless you know about it, you can't take pride, right? So that is what got us started, and we started compiling all this information. And as we compiled, we saw a nice storyline emerge in terms of characteristic ethos of the civilization, which gets reflected in their achievements. They could achieve so much, I mean they meaning we, our ancestors. So our ancestors, they achieved so much mainly because of the ethos with which they practiced many things. And that is what forms the topic also for today. Water and ethics is one of the things that we are going to see today. So it is fundamentally the ethos. So today certain things of their actual industries may not be, I won't say relevant, but they may not be novel, because it's all very common now. For days of yore, they were innovations, they were new things, but now many of the things, they are standard, and there are a lot more things yet to be discovered. So what are the principles that you can take from there? And also a lot of the subtle knowledge, because the subtle knowledge is what gives you a grasp over your mind. It gives you the power of creativity. It gives you the power of control also. You can't let your creativity go uncontrolled, unbridled. You can't just let it loose. Then you're going to get Frankenstein monsters also. So you can't create monsters. You have to create good spirits, and so good things, and put them to good use for human values. Your both human value and ethics. So how do you also get a control over your mind to be able to contribute well to society? So these are things that you can really take away from a study of the Indian civilization. Not just you, people world over who study Indian civilization. People have been doing that. When the Europeans came here, they started taking our knowledge just so that they can understand all of this, and that is what has contributed to the growth of mind sciences itself world over. So these are beautiful knowledge nuggets which are there in our study of our civilization, which all of you will benefit from. Each one of us will benefit, and we'll have to apply it in our own ways, in our own respective fields.
Now, if you see, what's happening is, all of you are aware of the World Economic Forum, right? WEF. I'm sure all of you, most of you shaking head, that means you're aware of it. What they have done in 2019 is that World Economic Forum, they have done an international survey, and they have come up and said, you know what, whether you study chemistry or biology or physics, whether you study chemistry or biology or physics or commerce, English, in any college in the world, is there any difference in the syllabus? All the subjects, be it biochemistry, nursing, all the subjects, any difference in the world? Whether you study in India or USA or England or South Africa or UAE, Dubai or wherever, there's going to be no difference. So in a way, the earth has become flat. The education system has become flat. The syllabus is almost same everywhere. Whether you study on the banks of the Kaveri or whether you study on the banks of the Danube River in Europe, it's similar syllabus almost. So how are you going to be different? When you go for an interview, how are you going to excel? How are you going to be one better than yourself? One better than your colleagues is another thing, but one better than yourself. How do you present yourself better? How do your ideas come out better? This is a big question. Seriously. So, they came up with something called SEL.
Social emotional skills.
Social emotional skills. They came up with something called SEL, and they made up points. I think 19, 20, 21 points they came up with, where the base is common for all. But what is it different? You have your own civilizational innate skills, which are different from somebody in some other part of the world. Right? You agree to that? So the skills of a person by the Kaveri River, the social equipment that you have is different from the person from a Godavari River or a Krishna River or a Ganga or somebody from a river called Mekong in Cambodia or some other place, right? It's going to be different. So that distinctiveness makes you what? Stand out. Be different. And that you're one extra plus. That is the beauty of it. You are that one extra plus you become. So what they said is you have to know about your own knowledge so that you stand out. When you go for an interview, when you go for a job, when you read a paper, even a newspaper, your perspective is going to be different, what you take from a situation. That's what the world events also matter. Or when you go anywhere overseas, all of you, many of you will be going overseas in your life in different forms. Okay, one in your personal educational capacity, it could be after your marriage, in your family life, you'll go ahead. There will be many forms you're going to go ahead. Go ahead in many ways in different aspects of how do you stand out. It's a very important question. See, this problem did not exist in 1970s, 80s, 1990s, 2000 because education system was not flat. It was unique everywhere. Now you are in 2023, 24, 25, all that. So this is different.
Pleasant day. We, Center for Ethics and Human Values, cordially welcome you all for this IKS presentation on water and ethics. I wish you all have a peaceful and productive afternoon. Swagatam. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्.
Which means, may all be happy, may all be healthy, may all enjoy all the prosperities forever, and may none suffer. A day without prayer is a day without blessings. A day without prayer is a day without blessings. Let us call upon Swarna Lakshmi and Sai Shweta from Music Department to invoke the blessings and presence of God.
श्रीनिवास तिरुवेंकटमुडया जय गोविंद मुकुंद आनंद श्रीनिवास तिरुवेंकटमुडया दीन शरण्यन एनुम பெயர் கொண்டார் दीन शरण्यन एनुम பெயர் கொண்டார் दीनனை போரேவர் கண்டார் ஸ்ரீனிவாச திருவேங்கடமுடையார் ஜகம் புகழும் ஏழுமலை மாயவனே திருமகள் அலர் மேல் மங்கை மணாளனே ஜெகநாதா சங்கு சக்கரதரனே ஜெகநாதா சங்கு சக்கரதரனே திருவடி கபயம் அபயமையா திருவடி கபயம் அபயமையா ஜெய ஸ்ரீனிவாச திருவேங்கடமுடையார் ஜெய கோவிந்த முகுந்த ஆனந்த ஸ்ரீனிவாச திருவேங்கடமுடையார்
Thank you, girls, for your divine deed.
And the thoughtful words are the best universal welcome. It can make the day good easily. I call upon B. Abhirami, first BCA, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, we are having Honorable Chief Guest Dr.D.K.Hari sir and Dr.D.K.HemaHari ma'am with us, here to expel the darkness cast on Indian culture, civilization and livelihood. Ajnana Timirandasya. Can I repeat, please? Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Namaha. First of all, I thank God and Almighty for the successful conducting of purposeful program. A warm welcome to each one of you on this momentous occasion as we gathered here for IKS, that is Indian Knowledge System presentation organized on the Center for Ethics and Human Values. It is an honor to have Dr. Hari sir and HemaHari ma'am with us, distinguished personalities whose presence had immense significance to our event. The Center for Ethics and Human Values embodies our commitment to fostering a society rooted in ethical principle and profound understanding of human values. Today, as we embark on this journey to explore, IKS privilege to have Dr. Hari sir and Dr. HemaHari ma'am with us, whose monumental on Indian civilizational knowledge studies made an impact to promote and propagate IKS on the entire global, especially on us, the student community. We are delighted to have them in person here, whom we had met often online. Dr.D.K.Hari sir and Dr.D.K.HemaHari ma'am's dedication to serve as an inspiration for us all. Your insight will undoubtedly guide and inspire and endeavors of this center, ensuring it becomes a beacon for ethical discourse and the cultivation of human values rooted on IKS. Let us collectively embrace this venture with enthusiasm and a shared commitment to nurturing a community that cherishes ethics and human values. Thank you, Dr. Hari sir and Hema Hari ma'am, for gracing us with your presence and for being an instrumental part of this significant milestone in our journey toward a more ethically conscious society. Dr. D.K.Hari sir and Dr. D.K.HemaHari ma'am. Introduction. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So as we know, they are the great person. I end up my welcome here. Once again, I extend my hearty welcome to both of you, ma'am and sir. I also welcome respective secretary, executive director, director academics, principal, IQSC, Quality and Research Person Dean, and Dr. Usha ma'am, Dr. Sindamari ma'am, other members of Center of Ethics and Human Values. Thank you and have a great time, quality time with sir and ma'am.
Let us now feel privileged to call upon our Honorable Resource Person, Dr. D.K.Hari and Dr. HemaHari, founder of BharathGyan, to grab our attentions with their speech of wisdom.
Is this mic audible?
Yes, now it
Better
is.
now? Okay, good. Okay, fine. So, just that one point that I was talking. So, what's happening is because of this SEL, started by World Economic Forum, what they say is, how will our students be different? Each college is having the same thought. So, knowing about your civilization knowledge gives you the extra cutting edge. That is what this college has been getting for the last 3 years. And for that, we should thank Professor Usha Madam for actually initiating this. It is a fact. See, we were doing it at an international scale. That's what we are actually doing. Over at Telecon about 3 years back, she said, why don't you extend this to my students? That's what she asked. And we took it up with the university, HUA, and said, when you can have students from Brisbane in the east coast to Vancouver in Canada in the west, why can't we have some students from India too? So that started it off. It actually fused to a hand. So the idea is to bring it all to all of us together. So
You are
that's the idea.
having
So-
that many interested
So
students.
the idea is, so this college and this batch of students are in the forefront as far as the World Economic Forum report is concerned and SEN is concerned. You see where you have the cutting edge now? So the effort you're putting is what they want to implement as Education 4.0 some years later as a probable policy. All of you are already getting in it, and it will be helpful to all of you for the next few decades, because you have the foundation now. You can build the 74th floor of a building only if you have the ground floor foundation, isn't it? That's what a building. And as they say, if you educate a girl child, you educate a whole family. That's true. That's reality, right? And we would take it a step further. You educate a whole society, a community. That's also a reality, not just your personal families. So that is where it comes from. And to be associated with all of you is equally our pleasure to interact with all of you, because, and the other thing what we like to say is, wherever possible in the session, I know some of you will not be able to put on your mics for various reasons. I mean your camera for certain reasons, which we respect. No problem. So, but ask your questions, because only your questions will take the sessions in different directions and the flow. That's important. I'll take one example. I think Abhirami, that day she asked a question and that took it in a different flow. Like every class somebody else does it. It happens. So that's how we want. That's why each session of ours is unique. That's how it is. And for this particular session, we just casually mentioned to Professor Usha Madam that we are coming to Trichy for an event. She said, no, you're coming to our college first. She said, the moment you land up in Trichy, you are coming to our college, first you speak and then go and speak wherever you actually been invited to. So that's what she said. So அந்த மாதிரி வந்து ஒரு அன்பு கட்டளைக்கு நோ சொல்ல முடியாது. உடனே வந்தோம், we just kept our luggage in the hotel room and straight came here. Okay, so the topics that she gave for us was water and ethics, and where better to speak about water than on the banks of the Kaveri river. இல்லையா? நாங்கள் வரைச்ச ட்ரெயினில் ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் சீன் பார்த்துட்டு வந்தோம். நாங்கள் ட்ரெயினில் வரைச்சு. All of you know about Chennai? Yes, sir. All of you have seen photos of Chennai in the last 3-4 days? Yes, sir. Thiruvallam Nadi. It was how Kaveri should be. So, 3 hours away literally by a train, Kolidam, Kaveri and all the other rivers right from Palar, all the rivers that we crossed were all dry. Whereas, there is in every street of Chennai is a odai. இல்லையா? So look at how the contrast is happening. எல்லா நதியும் இருக்கு. எல்லா நதியும் ட்ரையா இருக்கு, வறண்டு இருக்கு, மணல் தான் இருக்கு.
எல்லா படகும் சென்னையில் இருக்கு இப்போ.
எல்லா படகும். So அதான் இது. So we wanted to sort of, so given the subject, we look at different aspects. As usual, please feel free to ask questions. Okay, as you come across the thought process, because it is in all our sessions. How is it? Is it monologue or dialogue or multi-log? Multi-log. So that's how it's going to be, multi-log. Okay, and we're glad to be doing this IKS session with all of you, and there are more we can do in IKS as we go along over the years, which will be glad to be associated with this college. We are doing so many more colleges. This college also will be glad to be associated. Okay, that we'll discuss later. Get to the subject.
So water and ethics na, water sambandhapatta, what are the ethics you think are that could be connected with water? What are the kind of behavior that you think water would have inculcated in Indians as a civilization? Can you think of any character, nature of ours that could have been influenced by water? And here I would like to urge the HUA students to kind of just wait. If nobody answers and you know the answer, please answer. Otherwise, give the others a chance to answer. Okay, thank you. So quickly, let's go through that. Let's see, anybody who can think of behaviors of Indians which may have been affected by water. Can you think anything that comes to your mind? Don't feel diffident. I mean, inhibited. It could be wrong. I mean, whatever you say, I think would have the right answer. It will be the right answer, but there are a few points that we are looking for that we can highlight to you further. So don't feel inhibited. Please tell your answers. What do you think? How do you think water could have influenced our character? What aspect? Shall we look at it? So there are 3 aspects fundamentally that we can highlight as having been influenced by water. One is, what do you think makes Indians stand out vis-a-vis other people of the people in the other parts of the world? How do we behave with respect to money, with respect to wealth? What do we do? We respect everything, yes.
Everything is sacred for us.
Is sacred for us. Then anything else? How are we little different from other people? We save. See, the clues are there in that picture itself. We save, right? Indians are known for being people who save. Or we always save. There is always a saving somewhere in the house. Right?
இது ஒரு பழைய எம்ஜிஆர் சினிமா பாட்டு எல்லாருக்கும் ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? நீங்களாம் அப்போ அவங்க சினிமா பார்க்குறாங்கன்னா தெரியாது. ஆனால் அந்த காலத்து ஒரு எம்ஜிஆர் சினிமாவே 40-50 வருஷம் பழைய சினிமா. அது ஒரு பாட்டு வரும். என்னது, மணப்பாறை மாடு கட்டி மாயவரம் ஏறி விழுதெல்லாம் அந்த பாட்டு இருக்கும். அந்த பாட்டில் கேளுங்க, அம்மா கிட்ட கொடுத்து வை செல்லக்கண்ணு, 600 ஆக்குவாங்க செல்லக்கண்ணு. அந்த பாட்டு வருமா ராதா? கேட்டிருக்கீங்க? பிளாக் அண்ட் ஒயிட் சினிமா கேட்டிருக்கீங்களா இல்லையா? அம்மா கிட்ட 600 ஆகும். So only the feminine gender has the capacity to hold it, save it and grow it. That's the beauty of the feminine gender. அது எங்க? நம்ம கலாச்சாரத்துல தான் இருக்குது. Not the world kalacharam. Only in our kalacharam we have. That's the ethics. Why do we have this ethics is the question. Why it is the Indian mind itself has this ethics? Why do the Indian women, Bharati women have this ethics? Anybody would like to answer that question?
Can you all hear at the back?
Can you all hear us? Clear?
Can you hear him?
That's good. So why is it speciality of Indians? We have discussed this in one of our course sessions. Clue. Okay. இப்போ வந்து anybody want to answer or shall I start asking further more questions? Okay. நம்மளுக்கு மான்சூன் சீசன் வந்து எப்போ வருது? நம்மளுக்கு மழை எப்போ பெய்யுது? நம்மளுக்கு மான்சூன் சீசன்ல எப்போ? அக்டோபர், நவம்பர், டிசம்பர் மழை பெய்யுது. நீங்க இதுக்கு போனீங்கன்னா கர்நாடகா போனீங்கன்னா ஜூன், ஜூலை, ஆகஸ்ட்ல மழை பெய்யும் இல்லையா? So that is what you have your monsoon. So you say monsoon season is 3 months. If you go to Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari, they will say June, July, August, October, November, December, because they get both. So that is how it is now. Okay. Now, so you have roughly 3 months of monsoon time. Yeah. In this 3 months of monsoon time that you have, does it rain all the 90 days in those 3 months? No. For how long does it rain?
100 hours.
Huh?
100 hours.
You people know the answers. Good. I'm so happy. Okay, good. So I'm glad you are listening to the sessions. So that means what? On average, in the landmass of India, it rains for about 100 hours in a year. How many hours are there in a year? How many hours are there in a year? How many hours are there in a day? No. I want to study your 7th standard maths. How many hours are there in a day?
24 hours.
How many hours are there in a week? Into 7. How many hours in a month? Into that. How many hours in a year? How much is that calculator? Nobody. Okay, phone. You don't carry phones in class, obviously. So it comes to 8,760 hours is what you have in 1 year. And 2 of our friends here say how many hours does it rain? 100 hours. So it rains for you for 100 hours in a year, and the balance 660 hours you don't have rain. Look at this. This is the ethos of the land. She said ethos. Use the word ethos 5, 7, 10 times. So the ethos of the land is, we know there are, wherever you are in the world, you have 8,760 hours in a year. Whether in Arctica or Antarctica, that's all the number of hours. How many hours does it rain for us? 100 hours. So how many hours we don't have rain?
8,660 hours.
So where do you get water when you don't have rain? So you store it. So you are storing, you save water. Savings. Right? Now look at the key ethos word of saving. So when it rains, mala peche, you save it. Simple. So you have water. So that 100 hours la vara puliyira malai. நம்ம சொல்ல என்ன சொல்றோம், மழை பொழியறதுன்னு இல்லையா? So அந்த 100 hourல பெய்யற மழைய you save for the balance 8,660 hours. So what is it in your blood then? The idea of savings. Because you are in India. In England, for example, how many months does it year do they have rains? Rough question. I know many of you don't know. That's why I'm asking the question. Because I wanted to think. It rains for about 10 months. In Belgium also it rains for 10 months in a year. So is the need for saving so much there? Lesser. So what did they come up with a poetry called in the English language? Come back another day. ஆமா, நம்மளுக்கு என்ன வேணும்? மும்மாரி மழை வேணும் நம்மளுக்கு இல்லையா? ஏன்னா we know that we get only 100 hours of rain, so we want it. They are saying go away. So look at the contrast of ethics. between two civilizations. You get the idea now?
So, when you save water, something as simple and as available, so when it rains, it is available. You'll be surprised when you show you the statistics of how much rainfall we get. We don't get less rainfall. That 100 hours of rainfall, don't think, oh, only 100 hours we are getting. 100 hours of so much rainfall you're getting. See, look at the statistics. So this is the amount of river flow we have. India is 2000 billion cubic meters. USA, how big is US compared to India? Geographically, at least 3 times. But look at the amount of river flow it has, almost comparable. Look at China, it's so much bigger.
Double the size of India, geographically, size-wise.
But it's even lesser than India. So we are not getting less, we don't have less rivers. The only place is Brazil, that's because of the Amazon, the rainforest. So we have enough amount of, river flow, and we also get good amount of rainfall. So that 100 hours when it is raining, it really rains cats and dogs, like they say in English. So this one season, one day alone, we had so much of rainfall, 45 centimeters in Chennai area. So every year there is some such depression or storm or cyclone somewhere, and that area gets that much, the other areas also get enough. 4,500, US also gets similar, China, we get enough amount of rainfall. So water actually is quite abundant, but timed. And if that kind of abundant water which is available, if people have been saving that, then imagine what will be their mindset. They will save everything. So everything is precious. I mean, leave alone the aspect that they felt everything also to be divine, and which is why we save, we respect and we save it. But also we have this in our DNA that we should save anything that Mother Nature is giving us.
What is, she used the word divine, she used a beautiful word divine. What all is divine in our ethos? Again she used the word ethos. What all is divine in our ethos? Precious, divine. Divine, see, divine is a which language word? English word. What is the Indian word for divine? Huh? Punidam, Divyam, Divyam, Divya Tampati. Enga irukka Divya Tampati? Srilanka irukanga Divya Tampati. Illaya? So Divyam is நம்ம தமிழ் வார்த்தை. So Div na enna artham? Div means to glow. ஒளிமயமான பிரகாசமா இருக்குது, ஒளி இருக்கிறது. Div, to glow. So, what is the Greek queen called? Which you will find in a lot of advertisements, they call Diva, D-I-V-A, Diva. So,
நிறைய கடை இருக்கு இல்லையா, fashion கடை,
Diva,
brand.
So, it is your Tamil word, your Indian word of Div, taken by them and made popular by them. And an English word divine comes out of that. Your word is Deva, Div, Deva, Divyam. Clear? That is the English word divine. Where does the Greek word Diva come from? From here. So you have the Bija. What is it you have? What is the Bija? The root Akshara Bija is you. That is your ethos. Now, when you go overseas and when you say this is your SEL, that you own the seed, are you not that much more stronger, confident and capable? This is your ethics. We are starting this with water and see how it's developing. So, water is divine. Is the river bank divine? Are the plants divine? What is not divine in Indian thought? Everything is divine. Look at the idea. For us, everything is divine. That is the beauty of it. Illame nammalukku. That's the beauty of our very thought. So, savings is our ethos. Looking at divinity in everything is our ethos. That's our ethics. She wanted about ethics. So, this is our ethics.
So, the ethics that follows is do not waste water. So, if your character, if your nature is to save water, so what is the ethics? What does it translate to? Do not waste water. Okay, do not dirty. Waste meaning in many ways. You can just let it run and go waste, or you can dirty it and make it unusable and therefore a waste, right? Disrespecting it. So, do not waste water becomes our fundamental ethic itself. And we just want to show you very quickly a few ways in which we have saved water. And normally in alphabets you go A to Z, right? A to Z. Okay, we will go Z to A. Z to A in water.
I think about 5, 7, 10 of you have already seen it, right? Z to A. Is it amazing? Huh? Look at this. She'll show you now.
So I am going to quickly go at the speed of Tejas, super fast. So in Ladakh,
in Ladakh, northernmost district, what is the water harnessing system called? Zing.
See, we are doing this to show you this is not, this innate nature is not local to only one region or two regions of India. It is pan-India, pan-Bharat. This is the nature of this civilization.
Everywhere. So even if you are a Ladakhi, you will say water. Even if you are in Kanyakumari, you will say water.
And after we show you all this, we want to ask you, you can start registering it in your mind now itself. What do you see in all these different water systems? Okay, what are you kind of finding from all these different water systems is what we're going to ask you at the end of this. So in Ladakh you had the Zing, in Jammu you had a Kul, which are channels. In Himachal you had again Kul, which are check dams. Then again in Himachal you had aqueducts, which are called Kuhal or Kulu. In Kulu, then you had Khatri in Himachal again, which are stone, they have been cut in stone, so like stone wells. Then Uttaranchal, Naula, you had Delhi, you had Digi, reservoirs, Bauli, which are step wells, Bauli, Bavdi, they're all similar. Bavi.
Nadabavi. Look at the same term is used in Delhi also.
Nadabavi is a step well.
Nadabavi.
You have a beautiful step well here itself, very close by.
See, look at that.
Then Johad,
in
Check
the
Dam,
desert.
Mewar, Nadaband, Thar Desert, Kui Beri, then Bear, which is a community well, then Jalaras, which is like a tank, then Nadi, this is a pond in Rajasthan, Thar Desert, then Khadin, which are again check dams on slopes. Yeah.
Look at the animation, how this is an animation for about 20-30 seconds. See how the water comes there. Look at the people in Rajasthan, how well they have done it. So it rains here, this is already soil, loose soil. So they put a check dam here. What happens? It percolates and comes to a well downstream. The downstream well, they take the water in a bucket. So what is happening? You are allowing the water to percolate. When water percolates, what happens to the water? Quick. Filtration happens.
Becomes pure.
And added minerals. Today you buy distillery water, it says added minerals. Naturally added minerals. The best of the minerals getting added. So you got a percolated mineral, added mineral waters. Naturally getting it. You don't have to just put a barley and then draw it out. So naturally, so you get water. They don't allow the water to go waste. They allow it to seep in and pick it up. Look at the beauty of it. And
these are Tanka, underground storage. Underground, why? Why do you want an underground storage in Thar?
Evaporation, heat, evaporation. So you keep it underground, it will be there for time. Actually, we met somebody just last week who said in their house, their house family, they had these underground tankas in their house where they could keep water for 1 year. And it came as a family heirloom. What is family heirloom? So what are your family heirlooms? அழகான பொம்மைகள், முழு பொம்மைகள், இதெல்லாம் ஃபேமிலி ஹேர்லூம் தானே. இதெல்லாம்
ட்ரெஸ், பட்டு புடவை,
எங்க பாட்டி போட்ட புடவை 70 வருஷம் பழசு, 100 வருஷம் பழசு வச்சிருக்கீங்க இல்லையா, அதெல்லாம் பொம்மைகள், ஃபர்னிச்சர், ஈஸி சேர், அதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு ஃபேமிலி ஹேர்லூம். Mind you, these are also family heirlooms. You are the community here. This is the ethics. This is ethics. Inheriting is this, that is collectively.
So, what do you do with all those jewelry your grandmother gave you, or nice furniture, old antique furniture? What do you do? How do you handle all of that? Very carefully, right? So, how are you supposed to handle a community heirloom?
Even
Also carefully, right? You can't just drive past or ignore it, can you? You have to look after it. So that is the next ethic as well. You have to look after, not only not waste, but look after all these water bodies which are your community heirloom, your civilizational heirlooms. So look at this. So many like that in these forts.
Just go back 1 minute. Look at how the fort. எவ்வளவு பேர் கோட்டை பார்த்திருக்கீங்க? நிறைய பேர் பாத்தீங்க ஊர் ஃபுல்லா கோட்டை இருக்கு. கோட்டை உள்ள பாருங்க. எப்படி வாட்டர் ஹார்னஸ் பண்றாங்க பாருங்க. அந்த மலையில you have a fort. அந்த step by step அத்தனை கிணறு இருக்கு. So even if somebody keeps a siege for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years siege on the கோட்டை war, you have all the water inside to live, to survive. You have no problem. Because you already saved the water. Today, unfortunately, what have we done to all those water bodies inside the kotai? Made them garbage bins. Unfortunately, yeah. That is what. So, that's what we have to take up and clear up all these things. That's ethics. Look at this, Rajasthan.
Chandela, Bundela.
You think the dynasties in history? No, they are also people who looked after water bodies.
Virda, Vavs, the Rani Ki Vav, and so many other Vavs. Abaneri,
Look
Vav,
at this, Abaneri, look at this. And then the Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, what you call tribals. Look at the Apatanis, they're beautifully getting water. Zabo in Nagaland. Chiozi, Meghalaya. People think drip irrigation is new. They did drip irrigation 1000 years back using bamboo pipes. Slit bamboo pipes, they could drip irrigation to wherever you want. Where in Meghalaya, Dongs, Mega Alayam. Look at the name of the word, Mega Alayam. See?
Abode of clouds, Bengal, Jampoi, Jharkhand, Ahar Pines, Bundelkhand, Talab, reservoirs, Orissa, Katamunda, Daman, Fad. So now we have come to the west coast. Maharashtra, Kohli, Tank.
Oh, all of you know Kohli.
Bandara.
But look at the original job the Kohlis were doing. They were saving water.
Check dams. Ramtek model. Kere in Karnataka.
All the Kere. Now, just a small exercise. Do one thing. Take up the Bangalore city map in Google. Okay? Just check up the Bangalore Nagara. Small places are there. Bangalore Nagara is made up of about 400-500 localities.
Suburbs.
It's different. Now the Bangalore city is grown big, but it's taken up lot of villages inside it now. What are erstwhile villages? Check out their names. Davana Kere, Arsi Kere, like that. Or each one is a Kere. Or everywhere what you will get is Kere. So Bangalore is made up of 100 village areas called Keres. So with the village comes the Kere. That's what happens. You see now? So that is how it is. So look at, just check this out. Bangalore is actually built on Keres. 1,000 Keres.
So Chittoor, Cheruvu.
Andhra Pradesh, all Cheruvu. Southern full of Cheruvu.
Kerala, you had Surangam. They were even horizontal wells. So they were storing water horizontally. So instead of going deep like this, they went lengthwise in horizontal.
This Persia horizontal wells.
So Kerala, Korambu, then Palakkad, the base of the root of the trees itself is storing.
Palakkad?
So Tamil Nadu, see, Eri, Oorani, Nicobar, Jackwell. Actually, for Tamil Nadu, I want to show you something even more, wow, okay? Just 1 second.
how many varieties of water harnessing we did in a very ethical way. Look at this. She'll show you there in a particular slide. Water harnessing, you go to tanks. Go to Chola Canal.
See this.
From a river.
So we just saw Eri, Urani, rendu pere we saw, right? Look at more names. So from a river, Aru, you went to Eri. From an Eri, you went to Kanmai. From Kanmai, you went to Karanai. From Karanai, you went to Tangal. From Tangal, you went to Endal. From Endal, you went to Urani. From Urani, you went to Kulam. From Kulam, you went to Kuttai.
Who uses a Kuttai? Correct, village people, yes. No, careful. You are partly right. Kuttai is normally used by all the sheep and the cows and all the animals. All the cattle, livestock use a Kuttai. Who uses a Kulam? The Ur people use a Kulam. Urani na Ur, not Urani.
Urani. So, so in the center of the town where it is the lowest point. So, anga poi ooduru varudhu. Thanni vandu kizha ooduruvi ella edathukum paravum. Thanni ground water. So, Urani, Tangal, Endal, Tangal ella eppadi they hold the water. So, look at the names and look at the kind of body to.
So, can you all name one very particular Tangal? Now, இன்னொரு பெரிய
அங்க போய் இன்னைக்கு
1000 வருஷம் பாருங்க எல்லாரும் பாருங்க எல்லாம் அதுல இருந்தே தெரியுது.
So today you go to Hindu paper and see which are places in Chennai which got flooded. Pallikaranai, Palavantangal, Velacheri, Eri. பேர்லயே அப்படி வெச்சிண்டு இத புரிஞ்சுக்காம நம்ம போய் அங்க போய் வீடு கட்டிண்டு வீடு வாழறோம் அப்புறம் then how will you not get flooded?
இந்த தாங்களுக்கு என்ன இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லிருக்கோம்? Holder. Holder is a very big holder built in Trichy 1000 years ago. Very big build. It's a world marvel. 1000 years old holder built in Trichy which is today dry. அது அணை அது வேடந்தாங்கல் அது வந்து வேடன்னா அது வந்து பேர்ட் ஹண்டர்ஸ் வேடந்தாங்கல் அது ரைட் அது தாங்கல் நான் வந்து திருச்சி வேடந்தாங்கல் இஸ் க்ளோஸ் டு மதுராந்தகம் அது வேற கொள்ளிடம் it's a holder the idea of so holder கொள்ளிடம் is what it's a holder for you isn't it so it holds the excess water when it rains extra and goes and stays there for you to use in the balance 8660 hours. Who was good in how many engineering students here? Anybody from engineering? Arts and science. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Thank you. So, engineering la mechanical engineering, electrical engineering la varum. Civil engineering la varum. There's also a subject called hydraulic engineering. Hydraulic civil engineering. அப்போ இதெல்லாம் hydraulic civil engineering இல்லையா இதெல்லாம்?
Where is it other bigger map? Kollidam.
The Ullar Kollidam. This is bad. So this is what it is. See, who studied your upper Aniket, lower Aniket, Kollidam is there, Ullar. It takes the water and goes to Kollidam. This is the beauty of it. Unfortunately, all of them are today. Because the question is now we have lost the ethics in what, which is what Professor Usha that day phone la sonaga. Come and explain to my students the ethics of this so they should know this. That's what we took the effort to do. So look at this is the aerial mapping of it. How you have the idea of Kollidam. The aerial view. This is what you must teach your friends, family and your extended circle. Okay, that's the whole purpose of us talking here today. So you see how the collidum, the ullar is here. So, look at it.
Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, see that.
Okay. So let's move on quickly. Train got stopped. Tejas cannot afford to stop. It has to be non-stop Chennai Tirchi. Okay. So in the Mari Nariya, so you had so many such water bodies. That is why you had Z to A. Now my question, I asked you in the beginning, what did you notice very special about all these water bodies? We did, no, from Z to A. So did you see anything? Yes?
They were actually solid ice caves at Ladakh, and when we come down south, it actually starts flowing, and there's a great flow that we take different measures to save it and preserve it.
Very nice. Very nice. Can you summarize it differently? Anybody, whatever she said, the essence, can you say that differently? Can anybody say that differently? Did you notice anything else also, please? If you have noticed something else.
Please feel free. This is a multi-log we said. Anybody can say, because if you stand up the camera, I will catch you.
You want to say something? Green color Davani. Sari, you want to say something?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Dharalma.
And the light put.
ரொம்ப அழகான பாயிண்ட். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அழகா வேற சொன்னாங்க. அத சான்ஸே கொடுக்கறது இல்ல கடல் வரைக்கும் போறதுக்கு. நதி வந்து எங்க போகும்? நதி will go to the sea. ஆனா we did not.
நதி எங்கே போகும்? கடலை தேடி. தமிழ் பாட்டு கேளியா? அழகான பாட்டு.
So சான்ஸே கொடுக்க. We tried to prevent the river from going into the sea and saved it, stored it. Very beautifully she has said that, and she has got a beautiful essence. I don't know how many of us realize that we have been trying to prevent the rivers from going into the sea. We have been trying to hold on to all these waters.
Now in the ethics, she normally says a point which one or two of you may have caught it in the class. What is the difference between the Indian civilization and the other civilizations of the world? Difference. Correct. We say they don't say. That's one point. Another point. Agreed. I'm asking a slightly more deeper point.
So you saw that picture, right?
That earlier picture.
That area we came down up to Kuttai. Where is the Kuttai? Where is Kuttai? Where typically do you find Kuttais? Outside your house, your very house, you will find one kuttai. தெருக்கு தெரு ஒரு அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு குட்டையாவது இருக்கும். ஒரு 2 தெருக்கு ஒரு குட்டை இருக்கும். ஒரு 4 தெருக்கு ஒரு குளம் இருக்கும். ஊருக்கு ஊரணி இருக்கும். Right? But area, I mean நதி எங்க இருக்கும்? Far away from your house. At least உங்களுக்கு Trichyனா you have Kaveri close by. But you go inside Chettinad and all, you go further inside, where is the river? So far away. Right? But Chettinad also has ஊரணி. There are so many urs which have got very nice big uranis. That's how they have established their nagaram over there, their towns. So
they designed towns, town planning.
So what is it telling you? Where do civilizations grow typically? River banks. Which are some of the civilizations we normally talk about? River bank, Indus Valley civilization, then
Harappa civilization.
Then
by the Nile
River, Egyptian civilization, Roman civilization by the Tiber River.
இல்ல Roman civilization the river அவங்க சொல்லிட்டாங்க டைபர்ன்ட்டாங்க. How many of you are Julius Caesar, Shakespeare? படிக்கவே இல்ல.
இங்க she has
படிக்கவே இல்ல. அதுல வருது அந்த பேர் வருது டைபர்னு வருது.
Tiber, Persian civilization, Euphrates, Tigris. So Euphrates, Firat, Manga. So every civilization you read today, old ancient civilization, how will you read? They grew and flourished by the banks of rivers. But where is your Kuttai?
Is it near a river?
Is it near a river? Your house is near a Kuttai. But the Kuttai is so far away from the river. So what did we do, Indian civilization?
What is the difference? What is our SEL? Huh? Yes, Professor.
Bring water to us.
So Bhagirathan Kalathilirundu, we are bringing water to where our habitation is.
Bhagiratha brought it from Himalayas to
where
his
he wanted it.
kingdom.
So
like that.
We have been, adhikana Vedathe irukku. Bhagiratha followed because there is a Vedic example. He followed a Vedic example. So andamari, the difference now between our Bharatiya civilization and every other world civilization is that they went and lived where a river was there. Whereas what did we do? We brought water to where we are living. Look at the difference. So what do you need then? You need hydraulic civil engineering.
And civil engineers. Hydraulic civil engineering. Only engineering is not enough. You need the engineers who will do it. So did we have them? Did we have engineers, hydraulic civil engineers?
What did we call that community of hydraulic civil engineers?
Who are the hydraulic civil engineers of the Bharatiya civilization because of which India has been prosperous for many millennia?
She showed you so many water bodies Z to A and also showed you one eppadi taangalla varudhilla adella maintain pannuma illa varsha varsham.
Kings, did the kings go and sit and build the canals? So people, which people? Where did the housewives go? Or the children or the farmer? Who went and built the canals? Who built the wells? Who built the nadabavis? Men, women also.
Women also.
Men and women. But what did we call them? Somebody who works on a field, what do you call him? Farmer. Somebody who makes cloth, what do you call him? Weaver. So like that. And somebody who stitches, what do you call him? Tailor. Somebody who builds your house, what do you call him? Artisan, maestri, whatever. I mean, there are different categories. Like, I mean, from an architect to a person who builds and all. But have you ever thought, what did we call our hydraulic civil engineers? Without whom we would not have flourished. Have we ever given that set of people a thought?
What do you call a small river as?
Vaikal வேற இன்னொரு வார்த்தை
small
ஓடை
ஓடை யார் சொன்னது? Very good. ஓடை. What do you call the small boats that go on ஓடை? ஓடம். வீட்ல வந்து தண்ணி வந்துட்டு கொஞ்சம் அந்த டேம்பா இருக்குன்னா இங்கிலீஷ்ல டேம்பா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லுவீங்க இல்லையா?
ஈரமா இருக்கிறதுக்கு.
ஈரமா இருக்குன்னு அந்த இடம். அது தமிழ்ல என்ன சொல்லுவீங்க? ஓதம் இருக்குன்னு இல்லையா? செவுத்துல ஓத ஏரி இருக்குன்னு இல்லையா? கரெக்ட்? am I right? so ஓதம் ஏரிக்கு சொல்லுங்க செவுத்துல. ஒரு இடம் வந்து ஒரே பனி மண்டலமா இருக்கு, ஒரே தண்ணி டியூ டிராப்ஸாவே இருக்கு. அந்த மலையே full of dew drops continuously for 10 months in a year. What do you call that hill? Hilltop. Not ice. I'm not getting to ice.
ஈரம்.
ஈரமா இருக்கு that hill.
தமிழ்ல
fog வந்து காத்து. I'm asking the hill itself, what do you call that hill if it is damp for 10 months in a year?
ஏதோ மண்டலம். இடம்னா மண்டலம்.
இடம்னா மண்டலம். என்ன மண்டலம்? பனி இல்ல, பனி வந்து காத்து தான் அது.
இதோ take the clue. ஓடை, ஓடம், உதகமண்டலம்.
உதகமண்டலம். Water is Sanskrit. இப்போ கோவில்ல போறீங்க, பெருமாள் கோவில்ல எல்லாருக்கும் தீர்த்தம் கொடுப்பாங்க பட்டாச்சார். அந்த ஸ்பூனுக்கு பேர் என்ன?
உதிரணி.
அந்த ஸ்பூன் ஷேப் எப்படி இருக்கும்? ஃபிளாட்டா இருக்குமா இல்ல ஒரு இது to hold the water. So that's why it's called Udrini, because Allah holds the waters, it gives it. What is your brother and sister? Saha Uddaraya. Because where does your brother and sister come from? Same water belly.
Same stomach, same belly. Udaram. Adnala Saha Udaram, Sahodaram, Udaram, Sahodari.
If you tie a small boy at the stomach and leave him between two trees with an ammi tied to his stomach, what do you call that boy?
Dama
Udaram.
Udaram. So Udaram na vayaru. So pot. Toppe ipdi.
So
pot.
One who makes a pot as a profession, what do you call him? Potter. That's clay la work pandra motto. That's clay. Pot matram pandra. Some people specialize only in making pot. Anybody? Only making pot.
Take the clue. Itana odu idella solliyachu.
Udayar. They specialize in making special pots. Udayar. Look at how it goes, Ilya.
So who are those expert civil engineers who looked after all the water bodies in India? They have similar surnames.
Across India, right from Ladakh to Kanyakumari to Sri Lanka to Malaya to Singapore, they all have there's a big community doing it. Unfortunately, that community doesn't exist at all today.
Community exists, but they also have lost their skills. They're not allowed to practice anymore.
Because we'll come to why we'll come to it. That community was called Voddan. Voddan Chatram irka. So the Voddan community was what the hydraulic civil engineers of the civilization for 5,000, 7,000 years, bringing all your Harappa, Mohenjo, great baths, Kalibanga, Lothal Dam, all the Voddans. Light up. So see all the Voddans, Voddan, Ud. This is there in our books, part of reading material. How many of you have okay, seriously, how many of you have really read the reading material that Hema has put up for your reading? Professor Ushar, Bidi Perla.
Some, okay, no problem.
Enna madri. கஷ்டப்பட்டு மாங்குன்னு உட்காந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து அழகா எடுத்து பொறுக்கி ஹிந்தியில சொல்ல சுன்கேன்னு வாங்க தெரியுமா? ஜாஸ்தி கொடுக்கூடாது, அந்த 8-10 பேராகிராஃப் மட்டும் படிக்கிறதுக்கு தரணும்னு சொல்லி அந்த கிளாஸ் மட்டும் பிரிச்சு போட்டு கொடுப்பாங்க. எவ்வளவு பேர் சீரியஸா படிச்சிருக்கீங்க? படிக்காதவங்களா ஸ்டாண்ட் அப் ஆன் தி பெஞ்ச்.
ஸோ இதுலேருந்து இன்னொரு எத்திக்ஸ் என்ன வருது? எது நம்ம ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணலை, ஓகே, பட் அதுக்கு காரணம் ஏதோ கதை எப்படியோ போயிடுது. பட் ஆனால் இட் இஸ் அன் எத்திக் தட் வி ஹாவ் டு ஃபாலோ அண்ட் வி ஹேட் ஃபாலோட் தட் பர்டிகுலர் எத்திக். என்னது அது? ஸோ கன்சர்வ் அதெல்லாம் பார்த்தாச்சு, நம்ம பார்த்தாச்சு, சேவ் பண்ணுவோம்லாம். ஸோ த பீப்புள் ஹூ லுக் ஆஃப்டர் யோர் வாட்டர் பாடி, your hydraulic civil engineers are to be as respected as the water. Without them, you cannot have your kuttai. Right? So, you do not respect only water. You also have to respect the people who looked after your water bodies. So, how did we look after the people who looked after the water bodies?
Can you speak the example of that Karikala Cholan here?
Sure. Okay. So, here, 10 minutes back, somebody mentioned about the Kallanai. Who built the Kallanai? Karikala Cholan kattaru. அவர் ராஜாவுக்கு கட்டினாங்க. யார் கட்டினாங்க? அவர் ராஜாவுக்கு ஒட்டன்லாம் கட்டினாங்க. ஒட்டன் அந்த ஊர்ல அந்த சமயத்துல ஒட்டன் கட்டினாங்க. அப்போ என்னாச்சு?
கல்லணையில் தமிழ் தாய்லியா or Tamil culture hospital.
So you, all of you know about this, sir, light up, sir.
Where is it?
So all of you know about this.
The backslide of
Yeah.
So all of you know, but we will come to this later. So now I'm going to the story of Kallanai. Next slide. இதெல்லாம் பார்த்து இந்த சைடு பார்த்தோம் நம்ம. நெக்ஸ்ட் என்னாச்சுன்னா இந்த கல்லணை next slide. So he tried a few times, Karigala Cholan, to build the Kallanai.
We are telling you this story because you all should go now. You all may have seen Kallanai so many times, but இந்த கதைக்கு அப்புறம் திருப்பி நீங்க எல்லாரும் ஒரு வாட்டி போங்க and இந்த கதையை மனசுல வெச்சுண்டு இப்போ கல்லணையை பாருங்க. ஓகே, பார்த்து ரசிங்க, பார்த்து தேங்க் பண்ணுங்க.
யார் அந்த ஒட்டன் என்ன இருக்கு 1900 years back, Karigala Cholan who lived there, he wanted to build the Kallanai. Every time he tried, it was getting washed away.
Why did he want to build Kallanai? Save water and something more. Everybody wants to save water. Something very interesting aspect. Irrigation, yes, wonderful. அவங்க ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சொன்னாங்க. I don't know her name. உங்க பேரு Andal. Yes, sorry, correct. Andal. So she said a point. Prevent it from going into the sea. திருச்சியில இதுக்கப்புறம் எங்க போகும் அந்த காவேரி நதி? அடுத்தது தஞ்சாவூர் எல்லாம் தாண்டினா உடனே நதிக்கு கடலுக்கு தானே போகணும். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி எவ்வளோ பிடிச்சிக்கலாம். அதனால கல்லணை கட்டினார். ஓகே,
எப்போ 1900 வருஷம் முன்னாடி கட்டினார். Oldest surviving continuously used dam of the world. This is a wonder of the world. Leaning Tower of Pisa is not wonder, it's a blunder. This is a wonder. Adha vityasam. But we don't claim it.
ஒரு point I want to tell you. There is a difference, okay? You saw that entire இது தாங்கல், ஏந்தல், குளம், குட்டை அப்படி இப்படின்னு எல்லாம் பார்த்தோம். Were any of those dams? They were not dams. So where did you build dams? Only when you were near the thing to prevent it. இனிமேல் நதியில நம்ம கை நிறைய வச்சதில்லை. நதியில அணைகள் நிறைய நம்ம கட்டினதில்லை. நதியை ஓட விட்டுருக்கோம். இந்த சமுத்திரம் வரைக்கும் வந்தப்புறம் இதுக்கப்புறம் யாரையும் நிறைய பாதிக்காது அப்படின்னப்போ தான் நம்ம அணையை கட்டினார்.
Beautiful point she said. Now look at this. What did we do?
Yes. So that is another ethics.
See,
so all those who go towards building, I mean engineering, யாராவது படிக்க போனீங்கன்னா or whatever, these are, or into social projects further after your arts science degrees, these are points you have to bear in mind. எங்க என்ன மாதிரி bodies, water bodies or civil engineering aspects you can build. அந்தந்த ethics ஓட பண்ணணும். Okay, so he'll tell you the story.
Now listen to the story. So he tried many times. Every time he was failing. It was falling away. The building of the Kallanai. So what did one day he was with a very look at the story there. He was here. The king is here. He is very worried, dejected that is not happening. So then he sees one Voddan in the water. So the Voddan asked the Raja, Rajan, no, கவலையா இருக்கா கட்டலன்ட்டு yes. Obviously, then he tells the Raja, divest yourself of all your royal clothes, remove your crown and remove all that and come and stand with me in the water.
Don't sit on your high horse. Englishல சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, don't sit on a high horse and only think. Come down, கீழே களத்தில் இறங்கு, நின்று பாரு, உன்னோட அந்த ராஜா துணி எல்லாத்தையும் வச்சுட்டு you come down.
So மீதி பேர் தான் நினைச்சிட்டாங்க, இப்போ உடனே கோவம் வந்துருச்சு, இந்த மாதிரி தான் ராஜாவை சொல்றாருன்ட்டு. பட் ராஜாக்கு புரிஞ்சு போச்சு, இந்த ஆள் சொல்றவர் பெரியவருக்கு ஏதோ விஷயம் இருக்குன்ட்டு. அந்த ராஜா கரிகாலன் துணியெல்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு கூட நின்றார். எங்க? காவேரி நதிக்குள்ள. அப்போ the Voddan is asking the Raja, what do you feel under your feet?
Kaaladila, what are you feeling? What are you finding?
What
will you find? Sand.
Sand is what? Sand is?
Moving sand. Yes, Abhirami. Moving sand.
It's a moving sand.
It's a river is flowing. See, Kulam Kuttela அப்படியே நின்னுட்டு இருக்கும். ரிவர்ல சாண்ட் அப்படியே அடிச்சுண்டு போகும். That is why you get silt. கொண்டே இருக்கும், மலையிலேருந்து கொண்டு வச்சுட்டு இருக்கும், அங்கேருந்து தள்ளிட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கும் சமுத்திரத்துக்கு.
So you're getting moving sand. So சொல்றாரு, we need to solve this moving sand problem. அப்பதான் we, so don't have to worry about the water. Let us solve the moving sand problem, then we can build the anai. So that is because adalda when many people tell, I said first thing விவசாயத்தை என்ன பண்ணணும்னா வேட்டியை கட்டிட்டு உள்ள களத்துல இறங்கணும். அப்பதான் விவசாயம் தெரியும். சும்மா மேட்டே இப்படி பண்ண அப்படி பண்ண விவசாயம் புரியுமா? It's like standing in the side of swimming pool and teaching swimming only by saying you swim like this. You have to get into it. Fundamentally, that's the basic of logic. So that's what happened, isn't it? So then they understood. Then they solved the problem of the moving sand, and then built the Kal Anaikat. That's what we call it. Now, this was built in which year? 100 CE. 100 CE. 100 CE le kattitaru. Yaru? On the Voddan under this Karigala Chola Raja. In 1700s, ஒரு வெள்ளக்காரன் வந்தார். அதை ஸ்டடி பண்றதுக்கு. அவர் பேர் என்ன? சர் ஆர்தர் காட்டன். He is considered the father of irrigation in the world. Father of modern irrigation in the world. அவர்தான். யாரு? ஆர்தர். அவர்தான் சொல்றாரு பாருங்க. See.
It was from the native Indians. We learned how to secure a foundation in loose sand of unmeasured depth. With this lesson about foundations, we built bridges, weirs, aqueducts, and every kind of hydraulic work. We are thus deeply indebted to the native engineers. So, native engineers, these are the hydraulic civil engineers of Bharat.
The Oddans.
So, there are different Oddas all over, they called slight variations of names. But so one of the ethics was you had to have experts for everything, including for water. You have to develop expertise. Water na chumma adu, you can't take it for granted. You have to invest your effort, you have to invest and develop skills, and you have to invest time and money to maintain your water bodies and also repay the people who look after the water bodies. So farmer grows crops. Who gets paid for it? Who gets paid for the crop? Okay, seller. But first farmer gets paid for a crop, right? He grows a crop, he gets the money. The weaver makes the cloth. Who gets paid for it? The weaver. The carpenter makes a chair. Who gets paid for it? The carpenter. The Oddan provides water. What does he get paid? Have you ever paid a Oddan?
You have to every year, every lake, every kulam, kutta, yeri, tangal, he maintains. Every bavi, nadabavi, he maintains.
Did we ever pay? Now we don't pay. We don't even respect them. We don't even have them around to do that. That's a different story. But did we do that before? Did we do that?
Did we pay him? Not now. Before 1857, did we pay him? How did we pay him? She'll tell you now how we paid him.
Banner. It doesn't matter.
How did we pay the Oddan?
How can you pay the Oddan?
Give food. For how much?
How will you give him food when he comes knocking on your door? Will you give him?
How will you pay the Oddan? Respect, okay. Respect is fine. How much will you pay a Oddan? Look here. எங்க படிச்சீங்க இது? Very good, ma'am. So, your பேரு?
Vedisha.
So,
Vedisha who is studying music.
see, look at this.
Yes, I know her name.
புரிஞ்சு போச்சு, எங்க வந்து ஆன்சர் புரிஞ்சு போச்சு. See, 1/3 goes to the landowner. 1/3 goes to the water provider. 1/3 goes to the tiller, the farmer. So 1/3 was given to the 1/3. So they were very prosperous because they looked up. They ensured every house, every farm, every acre of land got
every
water.
kolam kuttai, everything had water. Everything was full of water. This was what the ordinance did for the entire community and civilization.
So Bharat was popular, prosperous because of the ordinance all over the land. Okay, be it building the Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat, or building the Adlaj Vav in Ahmedabad, or building the Abhineri Vav in Rajasthan, or the Apatani in Meghalaya, or Arunachal Pradesh. Everything was done with the ordinance as a community, and they got one.
Or even the Nadabavi, I think Tirucherai, no?
Tirucherai, all the Nadabavi.
Tirucherai in Nadabavi. There is a Nadabavi in Tirucherai. Have you all seen it? Beautiful, huge Nadabavi.
All of that, beautifully. Now, I come down to one point. It's not in the syllabus, but I'm going to come down to one point. Because I'm saying this college. Do you know who owned the land? Not now, but till 1857. No. King did not own any land. King owned his personal land, that's all. King was ruling the land. He didn't own the land. Do you know who owned the land actually? Who is that landlord? Again, landlord, but who is that landlord? The only thing, the gender is wrong, that's all. Women were owning the land. Land was owned by women in Bharat. So, who is the owner of the land? The women. Who is the tiller of the land? The man. Also the women. But, so, Kalyana I poche, or punnu, she'll go 3 villages away, 5 villages away, 1 district away. Correct? She'll go some distance away to live in her husband's house. That is her house, her family now. It is natural. Can she take the land with her and go, that her 5-acre land, will she take it and go with her, parcel panni, packet panni, ABT parcels, let me mudiyuma?
இல்ல ஹனுமார் மாதிரி தூக்கிட்டு தான் போக முடியுமா சஞ்சீவனி மலை மாதிரி?
முடியாது. சோ எங்க இருக்கும் அது? அங்கே தான் இருக்கும்.
இருக்கிற இடத்துல
யார் பாத்துப்பாங்க?
ஒட்டன் வெறும் தண்ணி தான் கொடுப்பார். கிராப் விளைச்சல் யார் பண்ணுவாங்க?
யார் பாத்துப்பாங்க அந்த கிராப்ப? Her father, her brothers, her uncles எல்லாம் பாத்துப்பாங்க இல்லையா அத? Because they are there in the same village. They are there, the பழைய வீட்ல இருக்காங்க. அவங்க பாத்துப்பாங்க. அதானே கரெக்ட்? They look after that particular. And so, but who owns that land? The daughter. The daughter அவ அம்மா கிட்ட அவ பாட்டி கிட்ட வந்திருக்கு அந்த land. That is her. So that is her land. But who is tilling on it? Her brother, her uncle, father, her son. Somebody will be doing it. Yeah. So what does it happen? She is the owner, so she should get 1/3 of the value. The tiller gets a 1/3. So when does she get that 1/3?
After she is married, yes.
After marriage.
But every day will she get? When will she get that 1/3?
வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு நாள் தான் கிடைக்கும் அது.
Yearly once. எப்போ? When will she get that yearly once? அந்த நாள் எந்த நாள்?
அந்த நாள் எந்த நாள்?
After harvest தான் கொடுக்க முடியும். Harvestக்கு முன்னாடி கொடுக்க முடியாது. So harvest எப்போ வருது? ஆடி 18 ஹார்வெஸ்டா?
அது ஆடி
பெருக்குதா அது?
அதுப்ப தண்ணி வருது.
தை பொங்கல் is our harvest.
புரியுது, தை பொங்கல் புது அறுவடை முடிஞ்சு அடுத்த நாள் கண்ணிப்பிடி வைக்கிறதுக்கு you go to your brother's house, you go to your father's house, your mother's house, your uncle's house. So what do? சாப்பாடு போட்டு what is your share of value, they give it to you and send you back happily.
So நிறைய பேருக்கு பொங்கல் அன்னைக்கு ஆல் மேரிட் விமன் எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவங்களுக்கு அவங்க பிறந்த வீட்டில இருந்து சீர் வரும். எத்தனை வயசானாலும் பிரதர் வில் சென்ட் இல்லையா சம்திங். இன்னைக்கு ஒரு 500 ரூபாய் போஸ்ட் கார்டாவது அனுப்புவார், ஒரு NEFT ஆவது பண்ணுவார். பட் தெர் இஸ் தட் ethos that I have to give my sister something on பொங்கல் கனு. அது அந்த ட்ரெடிஷன் எப்படி வந்தது? இட் இஸ் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ். ஏன்னா வருஷத்தில் அந்த ஒரு நாள் அன்னைக்கு அந்த சிஸ்டரோட லேண்டில் ஹார்வெஸ்ட்டுக்கு அப்புறம் பிரதர் வந்து அவங்க பிறந்த வீட்டிலேருந்து அவங்களுக்கு கணக்கு வழக்கெல்லாம் பண்ணி இதுதான் உங்களுடைய ஷேர் ஆஃப் அறுவடை அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுப்பாங்க.
1/3 to the wooden, 1/3 to the family that's tilling on the soil, 1/3 to the land owner who has gone 2-3 villages away now, and to her family.
இதே இது நார்த்லயும் இருக்கு. நார்த்ல என்னன்னு தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு?
What this is called in north?
மக்கர சங்கராந்தி அது வேற. பட் இதே மாதிரி ஃபெஸ்டிவல் பிரதர் வந்து சிஸ்டருக்கு கொடுக்கிறது. ரக்ஷாபந்தன் இல்ல, பாய் தூஜ். ரக்ஷாபந்தன் சிஸ்டர் கட்டுவாங்க ராக்கி.
ஏன்னா இப்ப வயல்ல வேலை பண்ண போறோம், தெல்லாம் இருக்கும், ஜாகிரதையா ரக்ஷாபந்தன் கட்டுவாங்க.
சிஸ்டர் கட்டுவாங்க. ஏன்னா நீ வந்து போய் வயல்ல இறங்கி என்னோட நிலத்துக்கு நீ வேலை செய்ய போற, அதனால ஜாகிரதையா இருன்னு கட்டுவாங்க, ரக்ஷ பத்திரமா இருன்னு. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஹார்வெஸ்ட் அவங்களுக்கு எப்போ பாய் தூஜ் எப்போ வருது? அக்டோபர் நவம்பர். எப்போ வரும்?
தீபாவளிக்கு
ரெண்டாவது நாள். தீபாவளி அமாவாசை, பாய் தூஜ், தூஜ்னா ரெண்டாவது. ஸோ த்வித்தியா ரெண்டாவது நாள், அமாவாசைக்கு அப்புறமா ரெண்டாவது நாள் பாய் தூஜ். அன்னைக்கு பிரதர் கொடுப்பாங்க. ஏன் அங்கெல்லாம் ஹார்வெஸ்ட் எப்போ? தீபாவளி இஸ் த ஹார்வெஸ்ட். அங்கே மழை வந்து ஜூன் ஜூலை, அதனால தீபாவளி ஹார்வெஸ்ட். ஸோ the fundamental point, so the ethics in this is not only water, you respect the water provider, you give the water provider also a due share in the prosperity. Only then he can ensure your prosperity. Purinjada? So these are various ethics. So look how way back these quotes go, these kind of ideas, this kind of discipline. So you have to hold the water sacred, you have to hold the water pure. So all this can happen only if you keep your water body clean and pure. So look at it, way back Vedic times you have, don't run when it rains, enjoy the rain, it's divine. So rain go away illa, enjoy pannu,
enjoy the rain. That's
don't spit in water bodies, don't urinate in water bodies, don't bathe without at least a bit of cloth on, snana vastram. So apputhilend they have been advocating maintain your water bodies clean.
So look at the ethics that we had for this, and where is this mentioned? In Saitri Aranyaka. It's mentioned there very clearly that how we maintain our water body. So what katti kudutanga, own pannanga, they got a share, and also you got a moral lesson as to how you maintain it. So we have covered a wide range of subjects now, including of the maintenance of the water bodies. That is why it's important.
So fundamentally, therefore, we saved the water, and we also understood that if I have to get that rain, the varsha, then I have to preserve my forest also. So I understood my vana varsha link. Vanamo varsha, மழையோடைய link, they are both twinned, intertwined. One cannot be without the other.
That's a beautiful point here.
So the ethics, therefore, water oda ethics enga varaikum porudhu? Vanam varaikum porudhu. So vanathiyum preserve பண்ணி வெச்சுக்கணும், ஜாகிரதையா பார்த்துக்கணும். அப்போதான் மழை வரும், மழை பொழியும். அப்போதான் மழை பொழியும். மழை பொழியச்சே சேவ் பண்ணணும். அண்ட் சேவ் பண்ணி இந்த குளம் குட்டை இதெல்லாத்தையும் எப்படி ஜாகிரதையா பார்த்துக்கிறது? எவ்வளோ வேணாட்டும் ஐ கேன் சே டோன்ட் ஸ்பிட், டோன்ட் யூரினேட், அப்படி இப்படின்னு நிறைய ரோட்ல எல்லாம் எல்லா வால்ஸ்லையும் எழுதி போடுவாங்க. கடைசியில் பொறுக்க ஆனாலும் அழுக்காயின்னு இருக்கும். கடைசியில் பொறுக்க முடியாமல் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? சவுத்தில் ரோட் சைட்லெல்லாம் துப்பாதீங்க எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. கடைசியில் என்ன போட்டுடுவாங்க? அங்கே ஒரு கடவுள் படம், சாமி படம் போட்டுடுவாங்க. அப்புறம் யாரும் ஒன்றும் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ கடைசியில் நம்ம வாட்டரை வந்து சேக்ரெடாக பார்த்துட்டோம்னாக்க, ஸோ வாட்டரை நம்ம சேக்ரெட், டிவைன், தெய்வீகம், and water bodies are தெய்வீகம், வாட்டர் கொடுக்குறவங்க தெய்வீகம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தெய்வீக கண்ணோட்டத்தில் நம்ம இதெல்லாம் பார்க்க ஆரம்பித்தோம்னாக்க, then you will not spit, you will look after it, you will not waste it, you will respect it.
So போச்சு இந்த தெய்வீகம். When did we lose this idea of தெய்வீகம் of water? Is a double blow that happened, which is what she is going to show you here.
So namakku what happened is, so today why do we have a lot of this problem? Our water bodies are gone, our civil engineers, hydraulic civil engineers, the oddans are not there anymore. Why do we have this problem? Because in 1857, what happened in 1857? East India Company, sorry, but they have been there for quite some time. 1857 particularly, history students, Sepoy mutiny.
அது வந்து இங்கிலீஷ்கார சொல்றது.
இங்கிலீஷ்கார சொல்லுவாங்க, நம்ம எப்படி சொல்லுவோம்?
War of Independence.
First War of Independence, right? So we will even go further. We can show you how it is one of the nth war, but it is a war of independence. So 1857, when that happened in a very organized manner, what did the British do? They said, oh, all these people are revolting against us because they are very confident that they can prosper without us and they have all the wealth with them. What was that wealth? Water bodies. Because you can keep growing again and again and generate wealth only if you have the water. Because only for 100 days it's raining, for the rest of the year you need it. So all the water bodies was the wealth of the land. So the people are very confident that they have prosperity because of these water bodies. So let's take away their water bodies. So what did they do? They created PWD. You're familiar with PWD? What is it? Public Works Department. So inniki we see PWD la, that was created then by the British. So they said, let's create Public Works Department, and in the water bodies எல்லாம் அந்த கம்யூனிட்டி பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தது எல்லாத்தையும் நம்ம எடுத்துட்டு விடலாம். And now henceforth the government will look after it, people you won't look after it. So இதனால என்னாச்சு? All those hydraulic civil engineers were prevented from working on it. There was severe punishment. They could not work on the water bodies. So all the water bodies went into disrepair. That is one side of the story. The other side of the story,
100 years later,
the Oddans also did not have work. They are looking after the water bodies. So if they cannot,
one-third share stopped for them. So they had no income.
No income, no work. Water bodies also became defunct. So that is how today's nalame of both the people who looked after and the water bodies. That's what we have today. So 1857 was one of the major blows. Then what happened? 1950s. What did we do in 1950s? By then we were independent already.
We got independent, but in the name of becoming secular, we removed the divinity from water. We de-divinized water. We de-divinization of water we did in the name of secularization.
So secular we said. So but unfortunately what people understood of the word secular means, you should not hold anything divine. So water also we didn't hold it divine. So we stopped praying to water. We stopped holding water sacred. And we stopped, therefore the waters also we started misusing and abusing all the waters.
So she said misusing the waters. This is a quotation I've said 100 times. In this college I'll say it again. Who were managing all the water bodies collectively till 1857? What then were repairing and maintaining it? But whose ownership was it under? Lady. How did you know that? Of course, so it was the Miss who was owning all the water bodies collectively. All the water bodies were owned by the Miss, women. Okay, that's why you got Narmada, Kaveri, Godavari,
Ganga.
Krishna is not masculine but feminine Krishna. All that. Okay, Tunga, Bhadra, all that. All the rivers, Jamuna, Ganga, everything is got Alaknanda, everything is got feminine names. So the water bodies were collectively owned by the women of the land. In 1857, who took over owning it? The men. So till the miss was handling it, it was managed very well. When the men took over, it became mismanaged. When the men took over, it became mismanaged. That's the problem. Never give anything to the men, they'll mismanage it. Give to the miss, they'll manage it well. Right? Will you go tell this to your brothers and your father and your uncles in your house? Yes. Happily?
So this is fundamentally how we have become devoid of our ethics.
In water.
So these are two fundamental aspects that are very essential for ethics around water. So ethics, when you say water and ethics, there are two things. The ethics with which you should handle water, and in turn the ethics that water develops in you. Okay. So there are two aspects when you say water and ethics. So ethics that water has also given us, and the ethics with which we should handle water. And I guess by now you would have picked up a lot of ethics that you can now apply in your personal lives, in your situations, wherever you live, and also bear it in mind for applying in future as well, right? Depending on whatever roles you get to play.
Okay.
Good?
Good.
So, please imbibe all such values from our civilizational study and apply them with confidence and dare. That is what we say. And this is the website and all our blog, YouTube, where you can find a lot of this information.
So, those of you who are continuing our course, please, those who want to, and those who want to bring your other friends also into the system. That next course, when does the next quarter start? January 13. January 30, next quarter starts. So those who want to apply, please apply before December 8. Last bit la pannavan university. So apply pannite. You're welcome to bring your friends, because we run the course every quarter.
Let us call upon Saumanasya of First BSc Chemistry to deliver the vote of thanks.
Gange cha Yamunai cheva, Godavari Saraswati, Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannitin Guru. You all know why I recited this sloka, because water and ethics. And
We wanted to show you this.
thank you, ma'am. And when we all learned Hindi, the first poetry we all learned, Machli Jal ki Rani hai, Jeevan uski pani hai. Yeah, we all learned it, because water is an integral part of our lifestyle. And I thank everybody for choosing this topic. Usha ma'am, Dr. Hari sir, Dr.D.K.HemaHari ma'am, and Sendamare ma'am, everybody. And I take great privilege in proposing the vote of thanks for this wonderful event. First of all, I thank Goddess Akhilandeshwari, who has showered her choicest blessings on us. And Akhilandeshwari is a very important noted deity in Trichy, because she worshipped Lord Shiva in the form of water in Trichy. And this is one of the Panchabhuta Sthalams, the Appu Sthalam, water. And our revered founder, who has been flowing his grace on us in ever so many ways. Our respected Secretary Sir, Executive Director Sir, Director Academics, Principal Madam, Dean Ma'am, and Dr. Usha Ma'am, Head Department of Sanskrit, and Dr. Sendamare Ma'am, Head Department of Hindi, and all the faculty members of Center for Ethics and Human Values and IKS cell, and the technical staff and digital support, the music students for their melodious Hamsadvani, and my engaging MC Pauls, and a pleasant introduction on today's talk by Abhirami, and not last but not least, my dear student friends. I thank each and every one of you for spending your precious time on this extraordinary talk on water and ethics. You know, she gave us the term the ethos. So the ethos of an event is thanking everyone who stood behind it. So at last, I thank all these souls who had put on their best efforts for the successful outcome of this function. I think this is the first step towards an enchanting India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manasya.
To BharathGyan, to the founders of BharathGyan for what they have done to all of us. They gave them internship projects, which is so unique, which was till now, it is only for IITs and NITs. But SRC has got it because of them. So we have to thank them. So 12 projects were done with 25,000 internship money for such students. Each student got 25,000. It's all because of them. They gave knowledge. Karumbu tinna kuli. So we gained knowledge and we got money. So it is a unique thing which they have given to us, and their knowledge contribution to us in the form of HUA courses, it's something great. So in all ways, they are saying, I gave them. But I just start and they start to flow. That is what is usually happening, and I have no words to thank them. But in spite of that, I have to record it. I express my very heartfelt gratitude to both of you for what you are doing to our students and also to the faculty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with us also. Thank you, sir. Every opportunity, whenever there is an opportunity, they inform us and make us use it. That is we never get such people. If they get opportunities, they give it to somebody else, or they can make money out of it. But they have no such attitude. They truly want to serve. And I salute them for this quality of them. Thank you. Thank you.